You're listening to
Two girls.
One Crypt.
Listen if you dare.
Spoilers ahead.
I don't know what the hell's in there, but it's weird and pissed off, whatever it is.
What's your favorite scary movie?
You shouldn't live, Bill.
So once upon a time, in the tiny murder-prone town of Woodsboro, California, a teenager named Sidney Prescott was trying to survive high school, grief, dating, and a terrifying amount of landline phone calls. Unfortunately, a masked psycho in a Halloween costume called Ghostface started calling people, asking horror trivia, and stabbing them when they failed the world's worst pop quiz. Sidney's boyfriend, Billy Loomis, turned out to be one of the killers because apparently my mom left because your mom had an affair with my dad is enough reason to become a full-time knife goblin. His best friend Stu was also involved, mostly because he had peer pressure, vibes, and no survival instincts. Sydney, local reporter Gail Weathers, lovable deputy Dewey Riley, and a horror nerd named Randy survived, and Woodsboro learned the important lesson that the call is usually coming from inside the emotionally unstable friend group. Then everyone went to college, because nothing says fresh start like attending a school where your trauma becomes a campus-wide theme party. Ghostface returned, this time inspired by the movie version of the first massacre, because in this universe, Hollywood saw real murders and said franchise potential. Sydney tries to move on, Scale tried to win awards, Dewey tried not to die again, and Randy explained sequel rules before getting murdered in broad daylight by Billy's mother, who had rebranded herself as a revenge ninja journalist. She teamed up with Mickey, the freaky Tarantino film student who wanted to get caught and blamed the movies, because film school is expensive and apparently so is sanity. Sydney survived again, Mrs. Loomis got shot, Mickey got shot a lot, and everyone learned that college is dangerous, especially if your roommate has suspiciously strong opinions about third acts. Then Halloween. Nope. Then Halloween. Then Hollywood got involved, which honestly explains a lot. The Stab movies were now a whole thing, and production on Stab 3 became a bloodbath because if there's one thing Ghostface loves more than murder, it's brand extension. Sydney was living in hiding, Gail was chasing the story, Dewey was working as a consultant, and the cast of the movie within the movie kept dying in ways that made everyone go, maybe we should stop making these. The killer turned out to be Roman Bridger, the director of Stab 3, and secretly Sydney's half brother, because soap opera rules had entered the chat. Roman revealed he had inspired Billy to start the whole thing, which means he was basically Ghostface's problematic franchise architect. Sydney killed him, Dewey and Gale finally got engaged, and everyone walked off to what seemed like closure, which in horror means see you in about 10 years. And
Mhm.
sure enough, 10 years later, Sydney came back to Woodsboro on a book tour because nothing bad ever happens and the final girl returns to the scene of the crime with a press schedule. Dewey was now sheriff, Gail was bored and married to him, and a new generation of teens had inherited the town's proud tradition of being hot, sarcastic, and murder adjacent. Ghostface returned again, this time with a remake obsession, because the killer was not only stabbing people, but also trying to reboot the original massacre with fresh faces and better lighting. Sydney's cousin Jill Roberts and her friend Charlie were the killers, and their plan was to become famous survivors by massacring their friends and framing Jill's ex. Jill wanted Sydney's legacy without Sydney's trauma, which was very influencer behavior before influencers took over. But Sydney survived again, Jill got electrocuted and shot, and Gail, Dewey, and Sydney reminded everyone that you can't out final girl the final girl. And then many years later, Woodsboro said, what if we did this all again, but called it a requel? Enter Sam Carpenter, who returned to town after her sister Tara was attacked by Ghostface. Sam had a little secret. She was Billy Loomis's daughter, which meant she was haunted by visions of her dead serial killer dad, because therapy does not exist in Woodsboro whatsoever. Only knives and exposition do. The new kids included Tara, Mindy, and Chad, Liv, Wes, Amber, and Richie, and the legacy trio came back too, Sydney, Gale, and Dewey. Dewey tragically finally ran out of his 9 lives and was killed by Ghostface, which was deeply rude because he'd been stabbed enough for one lifetime by this point. The killers turned out to be Amber and Richie, toxic stab superfans, furious that the movies had gotten bad, so they decided the solution was real murder to fix the franchise. Sydney and Gale helped Tara survive, Sam and Tara survive, Sam embraced just enough of her inner Loomis to destroy Richie, Amber got set on fire and shot, and everyone learned that fan entitlement is bad. After that, the survivors left Woodsboro for New York City because apparently they thought a bigger city would make them safer. forgetting that Ghostface has excellent travel benefits. Sam, Tara, Mindy, and Chad became the core four, which is adorable considering they were all one emotional inconvenience away from another stabbing. Sam was hated online because people believed conspiracy theories that she was a real killer. Tara wanted a normal college life. Gail was still writing books she absolutely promised not to write. And Kirby Reed from the Fourth Massacre returned as an FBI agent because surviving Ghostface apparently gives you a very specific career path. This new Ghostface was more brutal, had a shrine full of memorabilia, and attacked everyone in bodegas, apartments, subways, and theaters, proving New York rent is not the only thing trying to kill you. The killers turned out to be Detective Bailey and his children, Quinn and Ethan, Richie's family who wanted revenge on Sam for killing their precious little murder boyfriend. Their whole plan was basically, our son was a serial killer, but how dare you hold that against him? Gail survived another attack. Chad somehow survived being stabbed by two ghost faces at once because he's apparently made of love interest steel. Mindy survived, Kirby survived, and Sam and Tara defeated Richie's family in the Ghostface shrine. Sam put on the mask, used the killer's own mythology against him, and proved she could be connected to Billy Loomis without becoming Billy Loomis. Tara helped her choose life, sisterhood, and maybe finally leaving the mask on the floor where it belongs. And after Scream 6, the next movie seems set to continue Sam and Tara Carpenter's story, with Christopher Landon stepping in to direct after Radio Silence moved on to other projects. Then Melissa Barrera was fired over social media posts about Gaza. Spyglass released statements about zero tolerance or hate speech. Barrera pushed back against that characterization, and the internet immediately turned into a Ghostface group chat where everyone was typing in all caps. Soon after, Jenna Ortega exited too. So now the movie outlaws both Carpenter's sisters. Landon was stuck in the middle of a backlash over decisions he said he didn't make, and he eventually left as well. So the franchise, missing its new leads and director, did what horror franchises do when the house is on fire. It ran back to Sidney Prescott, brought Neve Campbell back after a Scream 6 pay dispute, handed the directing reins to original writer Kevin Williamson, and hoped everyone would be too busy clapping for the final girl to ask where the last two movies' main characters went. And now on to Scream 7.
Well done.
Yeah,
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you.
Real quick, have we talked about the fact that Christopher Landon's dad is Michael Landon? Have we discussed that?
I feel
I
like
didn't know that.
we would have, you particularly would have mentioned it.
Because I just Googled it
Uh-huh.
when he mentioned him.
Uh-huh.
Because I was like, I don't know if I ever thought to look that up, but that is his son.
You're talking Michael Landon from Little House on the Prairie, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Kendall talks about Michael Landon all the time.
I do.
I feel
This
like
is
you
the
had
third
to have
episode.
in like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you had to have mentioned it.
If I knew.
Thank you for the rundown because famously I'm not a huge fan of the franchise, but that helps me remember what happened in each movie a little bit.
I also changed my ranking twice while he was doing that.
Oh,
I
interesting.
moved one up and I was like, no, I'm gonna move it back down.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah.
I feel like we waited until both of these movies came out to kind of do like a franchise round off because I can't call it a franchise ending. I never believe a franchise is over.
No.
If there's a dollar to be made, a studio's gonna make another movie or a TV show.
It's worked out well because Anthony was on both of our franchise. So this is kind of a sequel to those franchises. So if anyone listening hasn't listened to those, our Scream franchise where we cover the first 6 movies, and the Conjuring franchise where we cover all of those except for Last Rites.
all of those.
All of them.
Yeah.
But this is a sequel, like you said, and everyone knows the sequels are always bigger and bloodier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bigger budget. Guess. Yeah. Bigger
less
budget.
Organization. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
This is officially the newest movie we've covered on the show because Scream 7 came out earlier this year.
Yes, this is the most recent. Yeah.
26, yeah.
And spoiler alert, I saw it 3 times in theaters.
Oh Lord,
Did
Jesus.
you?
Yeah, but you got AMC A-list, right?
I do.
You got to get some use out of that. I can't blame you. Yeah. Good use of A-list, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I was not in a hurry to see this. I'll say that.
That's not surprising.
It's just not my bag. It's fine. I totally love that, again, this is still in theaters. Scream fans have something to go see. And you can see it 3 times. I think that's incredible. I waited till it came to digital. And I didn't regret my
I thought you
decision.
saw it in theaters for some reason.
I might have talked about it, maybe thought about it, because I was like, well, we got to watch it quickish so that we can, get our thoughts on it and record. And that just didn't happen. So
Now, were you guys?
I did see The Conjuring in theaters.
Going into Scream 7, were you guys, I forget, because we did the franchise long
time ago.
Were you guys disappointed that it was not continuing the story of
Oh,
Sam?
absolutely pissed.
Yeah.
I really think they had a good storyline going and interesting. I would have been excited for Scream 7 had Melissa Barrera continued her character arc. I think that
Me
was a
too.
really interesting concept to explore. And I remember seeing that she was fired, and then what's her face, Wednesday, leaving the
Yeah.
cast as well. And I was like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna have to like stir up a story real quick. And I was like, there's no way it's gonna be good. You can't rush this. And
I'm on the opposite. I felt opposite. Like, I wanted Sam and Tara to come back, but I also wanted Sydney back because I felt.
Well, yeah, I wanted Sydney. Like, I'm glad Sydney was back, but I would have loved. They just did so much with Sam and Tara for it to just.
I feel like
disappear.
Scream is one of those rare franchises, right? Because like if you look at Nightmare and Friday and all the classics, Halloween, Hellraiser, threw that one in there for you, Kendall. If you look at all of them, the final girl doesn't really last past like 2 movies, and Scream is the rare one, really, where Neve Campbell's still sticking around. She just missed out on one adventure.
And I hate it.
I think
cannot
that's
stand Sidney Prescott. I'm so tired of Sidney. It's Sidney. I have a note for this movie that this is Sidney Prescott torture porn at this point. Like, she is just straight up like traumatized movie after movie after movie. How she can function as a person is not realistic. She has children. Why?
Yeah, let's get into all the stats and then we'll get into the plot and movie because we have lots to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scream 7 made in 2026. It's rated R. It's an hour and 54 minutes. Synopsis: when a new Ghostface killer emerges in the town where Sidney Prescott has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Tagline: burn it all down.
Or not.
Director Kevin Williamson. I'm just gonna speed through this cast.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of repeats.
We've talked about a lot of them already.
We have Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox returning. We have Isabel May, who plays Tatum. I only know her from Alexa and Katie, which is a show my old nanny kids used to watch.
Yeah, she's not in a whole lot.
Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding return as Mindy and Chad.
Love them.
I love them. We have Roger L. Jackson returning. We have Joel McHale as Mark from Mark as Sydney's husband, Mark, but not Mark from the third movie.
We'll talk about that, but I really liked Joel McHale.
He was great.
I always liked Joel McHale. I don't feel like he popped up in the Yellow Jackets last season.
Yeah,
love that. He's just, I like seeing him pop up places.
Yeah. We have McKenna Grace, who was Hannah. She was in the Honey of Hill House, Ghostbusters, tons of shit. She's in the upcoming Scooby-Doo, and she's in Sunrise on the Reaping. I think she's starting to bug me.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
I love her.
I love her too. I actually kind of wish they cast her as Sydney's daughter, so she
had more screen time. I was kind of bummed that she wasn't around for very long. I just love her. I can see why she would annoy you. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
Every time a movie is like cast, me and my daughter are like, I bet you McKenna Grace is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because she usually is.
She's kind of like what Jennifer Lawrence was like 10 years ago.
Which,
I was
and
gonna
I
say
love
like
Jennifer
Jenna.
Lawrence to
I was
death.
gonna say like Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I called her Wednesday. I could
I
remember.
am convinced they're going to announce Jenna Ortega is going to be in that Casper sequel show.
Oh, more than likely.
She's got to be. She's going to be the daughter.
More than likely. Just
That
like
honestly just
Beetlejuice.
makes me really happy that they're doing that. Um, we have Ethan Embry. You might know him from Empire Records. We also have Anna Camp, who plays Jessica, most known for me. She was in Pitch Perfect. She was also in True Blood.
Yeah, that's where I know
Oh,
her.
I forgot about that. Yep.
And we have Asa German, who played Lucas, and he was in Gen V. And thank you for putting this. Red Right Hand is played.
Yes, I forgot we were tracking that.
Number.
Who did we forget?
I
Oh,
think unless I've missed it. Did you mention Matthew Lillard?
no, we have Matthew Lillard.
Technically.
We have Laurie Metcalf. We have what's Roman's name?
Roman.
Roman.
I don't know.
And we have Dewey.
Yeah,
and we have
Dewey.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
have them.
Yeah, I remember when they started announcing those people in the cast and like the speculation of will they, won't they with Matthew Lillard, and then it was like, oh, Dewey's here and Roman's here. I'm like, it's AI. They made it so obvious, right?
But they did shoot a version where Matthew Lillard was alive, and test audiences didn't like it. Surprisingly, considering how vocal so many people have been about wanting to see him come back.
It's probably the story was not very good then.
I can't imagine him still being alive this many years later and no one
knew.
Right.
I mean, I will say they didn't close the door on it. They still didn't close the door on it, this one, with the missing records from town and the body, everything like that. But
I feel like they need to do a better job at keeping this story for the Scream movies more under wraps, because
I agree.
All of the casting announcements, you didn't have to tell us all that.
No.
People are going to go see this anyway.
Exactly.
Because of the casting announcements, we all guessed, we all speculated it was AI. And then the fucking trailer had the fire. That opening did nothing for me.
I loved the opening.
I like the opening too.
I knew what was going to happen.
No.
It was in the trailer. It didn't do anything for me.
I guess because I don't care at all about the house, I did not put two and two together. And also, I may not have watched the trailer. I don't remember.
I also love that they burned the house down, because I'm sick of them returning to that house in all the sequels. Like now,
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have mattered more to me, and it didn't.
To be devil's advocate, though, I'm pretty sure they put the cold open in almost every one of these Scream trailers. Like, like, oh, Jenna Ortega. Oh, like, I feel like Samara Weaving, you only see her in one scene in the trailer. Oh, she's a cold open. I feel like they do that with all of them.
Yeah, see, the Jenna Ortega thing, though, they went against themselves and didn't kill her off. You know what I mean? Like because I was like, oh, Jenna Ortega, super popular actress right now. She's the Drew Barrymore. She's gonna die. And she didn't, and I thought that was great. I don't know. I think I was just disappointed. I enjoyed this movie for sure. For sure. But it just, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no surprise, I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I tried. Listen, I don't know if anybody believes me or not. I go into these movies with a full open mind, and I try to glean things to enjoy from them. Like, I still love the twins, even though they're just like comedic sidekicks at this point, I guess.
I couldn't stand them in this movie, but I also couldn't stand Gail in this movie. All three of them could have been taken out.
Yeah. I hate Gail. I've always hated Gail.
Yes, we know. I love Gail, but I think Gail shouldn't have been in the movie. I love the twins. They didn't need to be in this movie. There was no use for them at all.
I think they were there just to keep a tie to Scream 5 and 6, and that's it.
Also, how many times did they say in this movie, oh, you were lucky you sat 6 out, Sydney. You're just lucky you sat in New York, Sydney. But I will say they did a lot of like rewriting history with Gail in this movie, like the end where Sydney's like, I was wrong. There was a friend I could trust so much after Tatum, and it was you. I'm like, when could you ever trust her? You guys were never like best friends,
No,
or
you
what?
guys hated each other from day one. Like,
Like
what?
you guys established like a kind of like detente type working relationship whenever Ghostface shows up, but you
Yeah.
never got along.
I think what they could have done, and like take out the twins, take out Courtney Cox, and make this happen the same time as the New York stuff.
Ooh, that could have been interesting.
Because I know they said like, oh, Sydney since like in the sixth one, she's like, oh, Sydney since her love, which pissed me off because we all knew why Sydney wasn't in it.
Right.
But I feel like, I mean, they still could have made that work because it could have happened after that. But like, I feel like it could have happened around the same time. And I think that might have sort of worked better as far as merging the storylines. Just take out the twins and Gail.
That would have been interesting. I really like this one though, and I will say, like, I was surprised how little I missed Dewey. I think I missed him more in six than I did in this one, but I think Joel McHale's character, like, I think it was because of course Sydney was going to marry a cop. She needed to feel protected and everything.
Yeah.
I liked how Joel McHale was like such a nice, genuinely warm, competent guy. Like he was Dewey was competent. Because Dewey, let's face it, he wasn't really.
As far as
Yeah.
the red herrings, him being a red herring, or am I just dumb and thought he was a red herring? We had a few.
I never thought he was, in my opinion.
Me either.
Well, because with the rule, it's always the boyfriend. I thought it was possible that, the small time cop that Sydney trusts and settles and has 3 kids with, that would be the ultimate betrayal. You know what I mean?
That would send her to the loony bin if nothing else did. After all of this, the guy she marries turns out to be Ghostface.
Oh my God. That would have been a better ending.
But the weirdo, I call him weirdo, Lucas being a red herring, I wasn't into that. Sydney's daughter's boyfriend being a red herring, I wasn't into that.
Who bought for a second when she found that computer with the AI stuff like that? Oh my God, he's a killer. Nobody
No, it wasn't him. As
so.
soon as I saw Anna Camp, I was like, she's the killer.
Did
and the
you?
only time, yes, the only time I second guessed was when her son died.
I love that they said.
Okay. Was she the one who killed her son? I couldn't figure that out.
Later on, and she said, no big
well, she said
there.
she doesn't care if he died or whatever. But I was like, is she the one who did it?
I think so.
She was, yeah.
That was a great kill. That was the only kill that I like wrote down because that was amazing.
That was a Mark the Clown type kill, like over
the top. It's silly. It's
with
horror comedy. The beer coming out of the mouth.
That turned into the blood, yeah.
I loved it.
Loved it.
It was ridiculous.
I liked McKenna Grace's death too. Just like she's just the fear of her being stuck and not being able to get down.
Dressed as a fairy.
The silhouette was great. Like
yes, and then him just like
disemboweling her. It was a great kill too.
It was really good.
But I was sad to see McKenna Grace go because I really do love her.
I thought Ghostface was like the scariest in this one he's been in a while, at least in terms of violence. Which is funny because Roger Jackson, who we've all said before, he's the secret of this franchise's success, that voice. He had the least to do this one because they kept going with the whole Matthew Lillard route.
Yeah. I hope he got paid the same.
Yeah,
because honestly, he is like carrying the franchise. Can we talk about Sydney being a mother for a second? Because this is crazy to me. I don't think she's a good mom. Maybe I'm being a little harsh, but if she's still living with this horrendous trauma and she can't speak to her children without putting that trauma on them, you probably shouldn't be a parent.
Well, go on, Kendall. I'm sorry.
No, I'm trying to figure out what I think.
I was gonna say I think they handled it so weird because I think the Sydney in my head would have raised her to shoot guns and everything else, like protect herself, not shelter.
Like more of a
Because
Jamie Lee
Like Laurie
Curtis.
Strode,
more
yeah.
Laurie Strode.
but not as like damaged. Like it's like because she already
She should have
already
also
saw
not had
Sydney.
children.
Well, that's true. That for
Yeah.
sure. But we already saw Sydney in the previous one. She dealt with the trauma. She wrote her self-help book. She carried a gun on her because she's fucking Prescott. And now all of a sudden she doesn't talk about it, which is dumb because you know your daughter just search your name and learn the whole story anyway. Let her hear it.
Yeah, so it's obviously she didn't heal. There is no heal. You can write as many books as you want. She hasn't truly dealt with it. And also the fact that this is never ending is what is killing the franchise for me. Like Sydney is always the target. There's always on that. Well, I'll make that point later because I have another question. But Sydney as a mother, please, Kendall.
They're literally like Batman and the Joker.
I know, it's stupid.
Them constantly arguing got on my nerves. Just like back and forth. Like she resented her mom for not telling her anything or not being honest with her. And then Sydney just wanted to protect her, which is fine, but you're just doing it the wrong way. Like, I don't know. And then they just didn't have the other kids.
Yeah, they just sent them away.
They threw them in there so it's canon to 5. Yeah.
Yeah. And like the relationship is not realistic at all to me because yeah, they argue, but Sydney's daughter, Tatum, I should call her by her name, Tatum trusts Sydney and she comes to her and she has these very vulnerable conversations with her mom. Like there is a healthy relationship there. But then you also want me to believe that they butt heads again. Like you're smushing two different kinds of relationships together. I feel that one of those exists.
I like
forced writing.
Yeah.
I did like Sydney's relationship with Mark in the sense that Mark wasn't afraid to call her out. Like when they had the argument over breakfast, he was like, "That one's on you."
That was you.
Yeah, I did like
I agree. I liked their relationship. I think Sydney was fine when it wasn't her and Tatum. Tatum was just getting on my nerves, but I don't think it was Tatum's fault. It was not the actress's fault.
That's what I'm saying. They like rush wrote this, and they could have had a little more time figuring out that dynamic because that seems to be the core of the movie, right? Is Tatum and Sydney.
I also, considering this is written by Kevin Williamson, I feel like less goofy than some of the others, and I liked that about it. Not in like I liked the silly campy of all the other ones, but like this one I kind of feel like is a little more like the first one was, as far as there wasn't quite as much like punchy. I think it's because it's just always heavier every time Ghostface comes back.
There's just one huge difference with the first one, and that's there are no rules here. This one had nothing to say about the current state of horror like every other one did. This one just completely ignored the rules.
Exactly. And I thought that's where we were going with like the AI, but they kind of chickened out and didn't say anything about it. They used it, but there was no commentary. And for a franchise set on rules that don't make any sense, but whatever, to not have them, I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize they didn't even mention any rules.
The AI, by the way, annoyed me so much that like if you're gonna do AI, at least de-age them to look like they did when they died, like how Sydney last remembered them.
Yeah, as soon as Dewey popped up, I was like, "Oh my god, did he crawl out of the dumpster? What happened to Dewey? It looks so bad.
It looked like he hadn't showered in a year.
Yeah, his hair was like
Stu made sense because they wanted to make him. Well, they wanted to make her think that he was alive, but the other ones. Yeah, I agree. Like Laurie Metcalf. I mean, she's aged.
You saw the one they wanted to get but couldn't get, right?
Who?
Jill.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was a scheduling issue more than anything.
Well, that's also used as an excuse for when someone doesn't want to be a part of something. I was about to say,
Emma Roberts is like, no.
Because Jenna Ortega dropped because of scheduling issues. And we know that's not why she dropped this movie.
Absolutely not. Although she stays booked and busy.
Yeah, she is booked and busy, but this was a big paycheck for her. She liked
I do wish they got Emma Robertson for one, because Kevin Williamson, when you hear him talk about it, said it made sense. Like, you went with Sydney's brother, you went with the mother-in-law, well, the mother boyfriend, and then you would have gone with her cousin.
Well, I feel like no one ever, like, they never mentioned 4 a whole lot in this at all. The only time they ever really called back was when we had Kirby, but even then,
and Deputy Judy, they were the only 2 who ever carried over.
Deputy Judy.
Oh, that is right. Okay, so I guess they are representing. You're right.
But in terms of the story, they never mention anything that happened in 4. So, like, Sydney has mentioned her brother. Sydney has mentions everyone from all the other.
She never mentions
Jill, her cousin,
which was like a super betrayal that she didn't see coming at all. Like, whatever. I also want to mention. Because I was going to talk about how someone needs to explain the ghost face motive to me.
Okay, before we get there, I want to talk about the opening, because my note was, this is how Anthony would act in a house like this.
100%.
I was like, hell, me too, though. I would too. I'd be like, here, take a picture of me.
Yeah, on the ground.
Yeah, I would too.
I also would fail that horror trivia phone call, by the way.
I was about to say, I love that the horror buff boyfriend didn't get the answer, and it's the girlfriend who's like, Jason never technically drowned, and she got the answer right. I loved that.
I loved that too. I also loved McKenna Grace at the beginning. She's like, I'm stockpiling my mom's edibles. That is so current.
It is.
In the 90s, it's like, oh, I took some of my mom's wine coolers or whatever.
Yeah, or her Valium.
Yeah, I'm stockpiling my mom's edibles.
Welcome to Derry. She took her mom's probably Valium.
Yeah,
you're right.
But to go back to the opening scene again, Kendall, real quick, the phone call, I love that the Airbnb host did the really bad Roger Jackson impression on the phone.
Yep. I love that. And I love
and then he just switches at the end, if you could leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah, he hung up. Yeah. So great.
Yeah. I don't know if I would want to stay in a Airbnb where there was a murder.
My ethics have changed on things like that over the years, and see, because I compared it to like the Lizzie Borden house. And that's so far removed, I guess.
It is.
But it still feels weird.
But it's not even far removed. The Stu stuff is far removed. But remember, they just had that murder spree when Amber killed everyone there only a few years ago.
Oh, no, I'm saying Lizzie Borden's far removed, not Scream. Like, this feels super icky. So I don't think I would. Not in
like,
this
Amber's parents, like, I guess they sold it and someone did
sold it, yeah.
Yeah, and so
it would be really funny if it was like Amber's brother or somebody who's right.
So some ski fall is like making money off of multiple deaths,
Also, where is this house? Because every movie, depending on what they want to do with it, it has neighbors within visible distance.
Yeah.
Or back of the woods.
Yeah, like all these people were coming down the street for this one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't care.
I did like the very, very first lines of dialogue in this movie, though, were the true crime podcasts they're listening to about Stu maybe being alive.
I like that too.
I really like the thought of that. I don't think it is cheesy. It is, but I don't think it's so cheesy that at this point, why not? You know what I mean? Like,
I really thought they were going to finally give it to us, but
too.
Now, I think it would have been interesting if maybe they had, and go on. I'm going to wait until we talk about the final, and then I have a better idea.
Okay.
Go on, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, at this point, I feel like they can't do it now. They teased us, and now they can't do it, even though I do still think the door is open.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and say this then, because I think I agree.
Mm-hmm.
However, we knew he was in it. It's like, well, it's AI, but still, for me, I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
It would have been great if we had the Carl, who cares about him? And then you had Ethan Embry and Anna Camp. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, this is so stupid. You have that whole spiel. And then all of a sudden, Stu actually shows up.
Yes. I would have
loved
loved that.
That would have been great.
Well, on that note, please explain the motive for me.
Please, Anthony.
Oh, man. Okay.
Whoever gets it better, because I don't.
What I think the motive is, and I stress the word think.
Okay.
Anna Camp was a huge Sydney fangirl.
Okay.
Sydney's story gave her the strength to, I was gonna say leave the marriage, but she killed her husband.
Killed her husband, yeah.
And make a better life for herself.
Okay.
And Sydney wasn't part of the murder spree in New York, and that sent this woman over the edge because she's like, no, you always have to be part of it. You are strong. You were supposed to show up and like save the day again, and now you're not, and you're not who I thought you were. So now I am going to make your daughter the ultimate final girl by making her watch me kill you. That was it.
And then she went to the psychiatric ward because it just sent her over the edge, and that's how she met Ethan Embry and Carl.
Yes.
So what is Ethan Embry's motive here?
Sidekick?
The man has a job. He's employed.
Speak?
Like, is he also deranged?
I think he's deranged.
How many fucking insane people live in this town?
Well, the psychiatric place was like an hour away. It wasn't part of Woodsboro.
So all the crazy people are patients there, and they're also employees there.
But they weren't in Woodsboro, remember?
That's true. They're in Pine Grove,
yeah.
Which I actually liked the whole vibe of the town, like the fall,
Yeah, that was nice.
Me too.
I love a small town feel.
So I will say, though, to your point, Misty, the motive in this movie is probably the weakest in the entire franchise.
Yeah, I couldn't pinpoint any part of it. I was like, I think they're at this point, they're just trying to be like, who's the most shocking number one, or who is the one nobody's going to guess? The person we saw for 15 seconds.
The ones you guessed, except for Carl.
As soon as they were casting this, everyone's like, well, it's got to be Ethan Embry and Anna Camp. Just like when Dermot Mulroney was cast in the last one. Everyone's like, it's always him. It's going to be him in this.
Yeah.
I mean, at least that's what I think. As soon as I saw him, well, that guy's really fucking creepy.
I actually really liked
or not. Go on.
I actually really liked Carl. I always loved the idea that there was going to, and obviously they connected it back to the main Ghostface here, but I always liked the idea that maybe there would be two unrelated Ghostface killings. So I love the idea that this is just some random guy attacking them for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that he was unmasked a third of the way through. Like that whole sequence in the house.
One of my favorite Ghostface killings.
Oh my god. What a great entrance.
My theater went nuts all 3 times I saw this when the guy
Gail ran over him. That was great. I hate Gail. I don't want to see her ever again, but that was wonderful.
I love Gail because Gail doesn't give a shit.
I know she doesn't.
She does not give a shit, and I just love that about her.
She's getting hard to watch.
Her fake, like, sad little speech about Dewey. I was like, fucking shut up.
Oh, and the tremble in her hand.
She can't show emotion on her face anymore.
I only think about it 500 times a day, every day. Shut up, Gail.
That's actually a really good impression of it.
He doesn't do that. She is still only worried about her little career.
Also, were you not expecting more? She finally got her interview after 30 years. Were you not expecting her to be more like ferocious? That
was a very bizarre interview as well, because they're trying to like set it up that these two are actually friends and care about each other, and then she just kind of like goes in for the kill on live television. I'm like, well, what did we just talk about?
What was the point of Mark Consuelos in this movie at all?
I forgot about him.
Just to be a anti-Gail, I guess.
And I assume that Timothy Simmons was only in this movie as a red herring, the drama director.
Probably.
Which is a shame. I love Timothy.
Is that a reference to 2?
I guess. They did talk about it. She was like, wait, you did theater? And she's like, yeah, in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the director was like, you're nothing like your mother.
Well, and then Tatum's like, oh, the college that you don't talk to me about?
I hate this movie.
Also, why didn't Sydney throw away the leather jacket if she...
A, yes. And 2, B, how is it so pristine? It's literally brand new.
Well, I doubt she wore it ever again after that.
If it's so traumatic, why is it in the attic? You burn that shit.
Exactly. But I will say I was the living embodiment of that Leo DiCaprio meme. When she came in wearing the jacket, I was like, oh, the jacket.
What did y'all think about her naming her daughter Tatum? Because they love to bring that up in this movie.
About 15
the fact
times
that they named her after her dead best friend. I thought it was sweet. Tatum's a great name.
Nice tribute. Yeah, it is a great name.
The first time in 6 sequels that she ever mourned her best friend from the hurt.
Yeah. It's fine, I guess.
I mean, I liked it. It made sense for what they were doing with the story.
Yeah. I liked it. I just think they were like kind of making fun of it in the movie, and I was like, they don't need to. I don't think it's weird.
It was that and the whole, oh, you're lucky you missed 6.
Yeah, which
I will tell you one bit I did love during the final confrontation with the first of all, regardless of the motive, I thought Anna Camp gave a great performance. I thought
she's great.
I have some comments about this.
I like Anna Camp. She was a little much,
but I feel that's her.
Yeah.
Period. She's always much.
Yeah. As soon as she unmasked, I was just like, yeah, I knew that.
Of course, it's that crazy bitch.
I did like how she called Sydney past her prime, and then after Sydney blew her face off, she was like, past my prime. Fuck you.
Okay, but unless Jessica was her name, unless she is smoking meth and crack, there is no way for her to perform this final sequence of events. She was, let me see, she was choked. She had her head slammed into the concrete. She was stabbed and she was shot. This is all after physically fighting Sydney, which is like a ton of energy gone. I know I have to suspend my disbelief. I do this all the time. This was ridiculous. This was a ridiculous ask of me. There's no way she could have gotten up after all of that.
Adrenaline?
No. She was stabbed multiple times and she was shot. She was choked. She has a concussion at least.
In my head canon, I'm gonna say drugs.
It's meth and crack.
Yes, ma'am.
I will say I did. This made me happy because it showed me that Sydney has been preparing. Like,
can we talk about their bunker?
I was about to say, can we talk about that whole sequence? Because that was my favorite sequence in the whole movie.
It was so good. It was so good. I loved that. Misty, not impressed?
I don't remember a bunker.
It was like a panic room in their house, like behind their closet. It was like literally like a little like alcove in their
and stuff.
And then her daughter went through the walls to get outside, and Ghostface was stabbing through the walls. You know,
okay. Yeah. I missed the bunker. I remember the walls. But I did just rewatch.
It was more like a panic room than a bunker.
But... Okay. Yeah.
But I loved that whole sequence because it showed again, that Mark was actually a competent cop. You know how to deal with shit. And he could fight.
Well, it makes sense for Sydney. Of course, she's going to have a safe room in case this happens. Like, she's going to be prepared.
Yeah. I did also really like the scene where she talked Tatum through shooting Ghostface through the door or through the wall.
Yeah.
I really liked that because a lot of the times when we get a scene like this, it's like the blind leading the blind. But the fact that Tatum actually listened to her mom and kind of like tapped into, I guess, her inner final girl and did what her mother told her to do the second she told her to do it. Now, did she shoot him in the head? No, but that's understandable. That's extremely difficult to do when you're staring at a person, but I really enjoyed that scene.
I liked that scene a lot too. It did make me laugh when Sydney was trying to get to her though. The phone kept running out of signal and she just
stopped in the middle of the street.
I know there's a curfew in town, but nobody hears any of this commotion going on.
Guess not. Everyone's inside, literally. Everyone listens to the curfew.
You know, that would be a good one for a drinking game if you're watching any of the Scream movies, is every time they mention a curfew. Because it's in just about every movie.
Is it?
I did like that this one like almost shot for shot remade the curfew scene from the first movie while Red Right Hand was playing, like showing shops locking up and the mom with their kids outside going inside. I love
Oh
that.
yeah, I do like that. I love a callback, honestly, anything to the first one that isn't, just like obvious.
Yeah.
But I love that.
So are we under the impression, by the way, and I think we talked about this last time when they were just about getting ready to make this, but were you under the impression that they wrote this script, it was originally supposed to be Patrick Dempsey, and they just had to change it?
Was it scheduling for him? Like I know he was doing that show.
I think it was scheduling. Yeah.
And Thanksgiving too. Or is he in Thanksgiving too? I just assumed he's
don't
dead.
know.
Well, we don't know if he's anyway.
Yeah, we don't know. That was a mystery. Yeah. Either way, though, if you can't get him, you can't have a husband named Mark.
I agree.
Like, just give him another.
That's a cop.
She already called him Mark in the fifth one. That's why they named him Mark.
I don't know, man.
In the fourth and fifth one, actually.
But his name isn't Mark Kincaid. It's Mark something else, right?
Yeah, it's a different last name.
Oh yeah, what is it?
She just found another Mark that was a cop, I suppose.
What is her last name? Let me see. It's not Prescott because she has that. She yells at that kid. It's not Prescott. What is her last name? It is Evans.
Mark Evans. Whatever.
Which,
yeah, just don't have another cop
but
named
wait,
Mark.
wasn't
not that hard?
Her mom's last name?
Maureen Evans?
Roman Evans? Nope.
I could have sworn.
You're asking the wrong person in this quadrant of the call. Do not ask me any of these people's names. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Me neither.
I forgot that I had something planned this morning, so.
No, Kendall.
So I have a question for you guys. It's Roberts.
Okay. Roman Roberts.
Yeah. So obviously this is the highest grossing Scream movie.
That's wild.
Which I'm surprised by because you had all the people saying they were going to boycott it, but guess not. I guess online talk is big.
Of course. I mean, that's for anything.
That's for anything. For 8, Kevin Williamson is not coming back. I forget the name of the duo who's writing it. It's a female duo though. Woman writers. Do we think it has to be Sydney and her daughter again, right?
I thought it had to be Melissa Barrera or nothing, and it wasn't. So
this is becoming the Halloween franchise, isn't it?
It feels like it a lot. Like this, in a lot of the plot points that we brought up, like the panic room and the daughter. Like it feels very Halloween.
So then, let me ask you this: would you rather they, at this point, if the choice is between, because they're going to keep making these films no matter what.
Of course.
So the choice is between continuing Sydney's story or just rebooting the franchise from the get-go. What would you prefer?
Do like they did with the TV show. That was great. It had nothing to do with Sydney. I don't even think it had anything to do with Woodsboro. It was great. I think just do that.
Was Ghostface involved? I didn't see the show.
In the third season, he was.
So it was just like, what was it about?
There was a different masked killer in a different town.
Yeah. I'd rather that. I mean, again, wrong person to ask. I don't want another fucking one of these. But I would, I always love a masked killer movie. So
I wish you could watch.
Plus,
I can't find that show.
Plus, at this point, if you want to believe the series thesis that there are so many psychopaths living out amongst us, it would not be a far leap for logic to believe somebody else bought this costume in another town and decides to terrorize his or her neighborhood.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to have anything to do with.
You gotta keep the costume and the voice though.
I agree. I think keep it and just have
Scream.
Have these people in Texas or have these people, in Utah or give one of the Dakotas some attention.
That's how I always wanted them to do Halloween.
Like an anthology.
Like an anthology where he just shows up in a
I
different
mean,
town across
that's why
America.
I mean, I know The Purge is not extremely popular, but I think The
I
Purge
love The Purge.
always works because we're just moving locations. And The Purge will be different in Texas than it is in Massachusetts. And you've got,
Everyone
that's,
has a gun in Texas.
yeah, exactly. And they're not racist at all. So it's super easy. But yeah, I think that's why The Purge is so successful to me. Like, I love that franchise.
Did you ever watch the show?
Partially.
Oh,
A lot
it's
of it was
great.
filmed
I
down
like
here.
I didn't realize that. I watched the
Yeah.
first season and I loved it.
Yeah, it's great. Like it's an easily well like branched off of concept, and they've always had pretty good writers.
Mm-hmm.
So then my second question is,
Hmm.
okay, in the ideal world, you would want it to be a different town, different ghost face, no connection whatsoever.
Hmm.
They're not going to get rid of her when this was the highest grossing movie in the franchise.
Sydney's
So
still here.
what do you think they can do in an eighth film with Sydney now?
What is Sydney's occupation? What is she doing?
She owns a coffee shop.
Okay, coffee shop. She's an author. I don't know.
Uh,
We'd have to do like a major time jump for me to like even think of enjoying this same story again. Like, we think we've finally gotten rid of Ghostface and have another big time jump. Maybe I could stomach it. The
I
twins are
mean,
gone. They'd
I'm
be
gonna
doing their
enjoy
own
them.
career.
I'm gonna enjoy these regardless.
Hmm.
Even if they're bad. Like this one is not great, but
No, it's terrible.
I'm gonna watch them. I'm
I
gonna enjoy them. I'm gonna see them in theater. However, I don't think we need Sydney. I would like to see just Chad and Mindy
I
off
would.
doing
I
something.
would love.
Oh
They've,
God. I
like
can't follow you.
I would love it too, Kendall.
love them.
I love them.
You don't love them, Anthony?
I liked them in 5. In 6, they annoyed me, and in 7, they were just insufferable.
See,
I
I
just don't
loved them in
understand
six.
that they didn't do anything.
What they were going on about, like, oh, Gail hired us for content. Don't say content, and they were doing that whole back and forth. Like, I was like, ugh.
That was 30 seconds, Anthony.
Yeah, but that was every interaction they had.
They didn't need to be in this movie. I
And
think
then
they
when
were
they couldn't get out of
wasted.
the bar, like, oh, we're locked in, and it's okay. Take a chair and bust the window down. It's a glass door. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like I said, you got to suspend a lot of disbelief for these movies.
So for 8, I want to do. So it's been very in the fandom community online.
Mhm.
People have wanted to see a Scream movie set around Christmas for a while.
That would be fun.
I would
So
love that.
I love the idea of them going to Colorado to go visit Mark's mother or whoever the kids were with this movie.
Okay.
They get snowed in, and then Ghostface of Christmas Past comes and starts hacking them up and stalking them where the police can't get to them. I think
I
that would
think
be
that would be excellent. I would
I love
that.
an isolation
Mhm.
winter situation.
Yep.
Mhm.
Stuck in a cabin in Colorado. I'll watch it.
And if they ever do a final one of these movies and bring the franchise to an end, which they won't.
Because we know this is not it, even though it was kind of advertised as the end, right?
I don't know if it was
definitely was
advertised.
advertised that way when Melissa Barrera was supposed to come back. It was supposed to
Yeah.
be a trilogy.
Oh yeah. But I mean it made so much money.
Yeah.
I
They'll
would
never
like them
turn
to
down
bring
gold.
her back at some point for the end and have her bury Ghostface. Her versus Sydney's daughter. That's what
I would love now, Missy, if they brought her
Mhm.
back for 8, would you be down?
Melissa? I would be upset with Melissa for giving in.
Yeah.
money talks.
I don't think they would invite her. I just can't see them and asking her to come back, and I don't see her accepting it.
I don't see her accepting it either.
They embarrassed her so much, and yeah, she had a very hard time after that finding work. So I don't.
She did, didn't she? She hasn't really
Yes.
done anything.
I just read an article the other day about how she's, finally working again, basically. So no, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm gonna watch it anyway. I'll watch it anyway. You know I will.
Mm-hmm.
But unless, like, I'm so tired of this same setting. I'm tired of the same setting. I'm tired of the same even though they do kind of shake it up, like the same Ghostface, there's only so many we can pick from, and we always kind of know who it is. So I
And
don't
like you
know.
want to make I say you in general.
Mm-hmm.
People like to make fun of Six, like Dermot Mulrooney, but at least his motivation made sense. Like the
Yeah,
family
he had a
revenge makes
reason.
sense, but you can't keep doing family revenge stories in these movies. But look what happens when you don't. Then you get nonsensical.
Secret
Well,
Brothers.
I'm okay with that. Like, give me, I don't know, give me something. I don't know. I don't know what I want.
So I know,
This was ridiculous.
so I know it sounds like I did not like this movie, but I love this movie. It's actually my third favorite
I was
Scream
about
movie.
to say, let's rank them.
Let's do our ranking.
So Anthony, remind us of your ranking before and go ahead and insert 7 into wherever you would like.
Sure. So from best to worst,
Mm-hmm.
Scream, the original,
Okay.
Mhm.
then Scream 2,
Okay.
then Scream 7,
Oh, okay.
then Scream 4. I saw that face. It's okay. No, no, no. I'm sorry, not Scream 4, Scream 5. So Scream 7, then Scream 5,
Okay.
then Scream 4, then Scream 3, then Scream 6.
Okay.
Wow.
Ours is a little different.
Um, yeah, I changed mine from last time.
Which you have every right to do.
Yeah. So I have Scream 4. Those aren't moving.
Yeah.
I have Scream 5.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I have Scream 2
I can't believe
at
you're saying
number
that
4.
either. Okay.
Scream 6,
Okay.
Scream 3, and then Scream 7 at the bottom.
I've got 4 for my number 1, the original for my number 2,
Mhm.
Scream 5 for my number 3, Scream 6 for my number 4, 3 for my number 5, 2 for my number 6, and 7 for my number 7.
Yeah, 2 has been slowly creeping up there. I watch it almost every year
It's
for
at least
Halloween.
memorable. It's got a lot of really iconic scenes and lines.
It's got a great opening. It has Sarah Michelle Gellar. It has the Joshua Jackson cameo.
It has a lot to be loved, I guess.
I like the beginning. I like the end. I don't like the middle.
It has such a great unhinged performance from Laurie Metcalf at the end. She does
she's incredible.
That whole 15 minutes. I swear to God.
It has 2 really good ghost faces, and honestly, at this point, that is kind of what's driving it because Scream 7, I don't love the ghost faces, and I don't love the ghost faces in 6, and I don't love their motives. At least the other made sense. So that kind of gives it a boost in my ranking.
I still loved the 7 ghost faces over the 6 ones.
I'm not going to argue with that though.
No,
like
that
that's
is
fair because
fine.
they were awful. They were awful.
I
I think these are worse, but I'm
very badly to do a Laurie Metcalf from Scream 2 impression, and he just failed.
Yeah.
He should have done the whole cold, calculated revenge thing instead of Laurie Metcalf's unhinged, like devastated mom revenge thing.
Yeah, like a total breaking character, really. Like just kind of, all right, I guess we're a different person now. Cool. That doesn't matter. Okay, well, let's
But it's no surprise that Misty, you didn't really like these franchises because you're more of a demonic possession type girl, aren't you?
Yeah, I do. One of these franchises is whatever for me, and one of these franchises is something that I love, no matter how bad it is.
let's get into it.
Yeah. Let's jump to our other franchise, the Conjuring verse.
You want to do this one?
Yeah, can I, if you don't mind?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, he's got his intro.
Previously on The Conjuring, before Ed and Lorraine Warren became horror cinema's favorite married couple who treat demonic possession like a weekend church volunteer activity, there was a creepy abbey in Romania where everyone was having a terrible time because a demon named Valak had decided to cosplay as the world's most aggressive nun. A priest with trauma, a young novitiate named Sister Irene, and a handsome French-Canadian tomato farmer named Frenchie All went to the Abbey like, sure, this seems fine, even though the entire building looked like God had personally abandoned the lease. They fought the demon, sealed the evil back up, and technically saved the day, except Frenchie got possessed because no good deed goes unpunished in this franchise, unless you're a crucifix manufacturer. Then we jump to a doll maker and his wife, who tragically lost their daughter, Annabelle, and decided to cope in the worst way possible by letting a demon into their home and allowing it to attach itself to a doll that looked evil before anything evil even happened. Years later, a group of orphan girls and a nun moved into the house because apparently no one in this universe has ever walked into a dusty old room full of warnings and thought, maybe Zillow lied. One of the girls, Janice, got targeted by the demon, possessed, and eventually became the grown woman who would help unleash the evil doll in another poor family, because demonic trauma in this franchise does not resolve, it just gets a spin-off. Then Sister Irene came back at the nun too, because Valak apparently had unfinished business, a flair for European travel, and the kind of commitment to branding most corporations would kill for. The demon was now stalking a boarding school in France, Frenchie was still possessed, and children were once again in danger because demons in this universe have absolutely no boundaries. Sister Irene had to confront Valak again, while the movie basically said, you thought the creepy painting nun was done? Absolutely not. She has a sequel clause. Irene fought back, Frenchie was temporarily freed, and the franchise reminded us that even when you beat the demon may still be waiting in the next hallway, the next relic, or the next extremely profitable installment.
Yes.
Then we got Annabelle, where a young couple, Mia and John, were expecting a baby and decorating a nursery, which would have been lovely if they had not also brought to their home a doll that looked like it had already been banned from 3 churches. After a cult attack, the doll became a vessel for demonic evil, and Mia spent the rest of the movie being terrorized by jump scares, ominous baby noises, and the realization that no amount of tasteful mid-century decor can save you from Satan's Etsy project. A helpful woman named Evelyn sacrificed herself to save Mia and the baby. The demon moved on, and Annabelle continued her proud tradition of sitting perfectly still while somehow causing more damage than most villains with legs. And that's when Ed and Lorraine officially entered the chat in The Conjuring, and thank God, because by this point the franchise needed adults. The Perrin family moved into a farmhouse in Rhode Island, which is horror movie language for you have 6 months to live unless Vera Farmiga arrives with the rosary. Doors slammed, clocks stopped, bruises appeared, kids got dragged around by an invisible evil, and the family learned their house was haunted by Bathsheba Sherman, a dead witch with terrible manners and an even worse maternal instinct. Ed and Lorraine came in with cameras, prayers, blessed objects, and the calm energy of 2 people who have seen enough cursed basements to stop being surprised by them. Lorraine discovered the depth of the evil, Carolyn Perrin got possessed, Ed performed an emergency exorcism without waiting for the Vatican customer service to call him back, and the Warrens saved the family while adding more nightmare souvenirs to their cursed object room, which is less a museum and more supernatural Asha violation. Then, because one evil doll was apparently not enough, Annabelle Comes Home showed us what happens when the Wardens bring Annabelle back to their house and lock her in a glass case with the warning sign that everyone should treat like the 10 Commandments. Unfortunately, Ed and Lorraine's daughter Judy, her babysitter Mary Ellen, and Mary Ellen's nosy friend Daniela were left alone in the house. And Daniela, grieving and desperate to contact her dead father, did the exact thing every audience member knew she should not do. She opened the cursed room and started touching things. This unleashed Annabelle's greatest hits album of haunted nonsense, including The Ferryman, a haunted wedding dress, a cursed television, a werewolf-adjacent hellhound, and enough spiritual liability to bankrupt an insurance company. The girl survived, Annabelle went back in the case, and everyone learned that when the Warrens say do not touch, they're not being quirky collectors. They're trying to keep a demon from turning your evening into a Catholic escape room. Somewhere around this mess, a curse of La Llorona wandered into the extending universe, wearing a fake mustache and saying, I definitely belong here. A social worker named Anna found herself and her children hunted by La Llorona, the weeping woman of folklore, after a grieving mother's curse turned their lives into a supernatural custody battle from hell. Father Perez, who had previously dealt with Annabelle, showed up to connect the dots just enough for everyone to argue forever about how official this movie is. Anna got help from Raphael, a former priest and spiritual handyman who fought evil with faith rituals and big I have enough of this ghost lady energy. La Llorona was defeated, the kids survived, and the franchise proved that even its side quests involved traumatized families, haunted children, and clergy-adjacent professionals working without hazard pay. Then we got The Conjuring 2, where Ed and Lorraine went to England for the Enfield case, because apparently America had run out of haunted houses and evil needed a passport. Before that, Lorraine had a terrifying vision involving Valak and Ed's death, which is a lot to process when your husband's job is basically walk toward the demon. In London, the Hodgson family was being tormented by a nasty old man spirit named Bill Wilkin. Furniture went flying, children were screaming, skeptics were skeptical, and everyone kept asking whether it was a hoax, which is a rude when a little girl's levitating and speaking like a haunted ashtray. Lorraine eventually realized Bill was not the real boss fight, but a puppet being used by Valak, the demon nun who had been stalking her visions like a nightmare with a habit. Lorraine discovered the demon's name, used it to banish Valak, and saved Ed, saved Janet, and proved once again that she's an emotional, spiritual, and Supernatural MVP of the marriage. Then The Conjuring Made Me Do It said, "What if haunted houses are fun, but courtrooms?" The Warrens helped with the possession of a young boy named David Glatzel, but during the exorcism, Arnie Johnson invited the demon into himself because love is beautiful and sometimes deeply stupid. Arnie later killed his landlord, and his defense became that the devil made him do it, which is a bold legal strategy, and also not the kind of thing you want public defender wants to hear on a Monday. Ed had a heart attack, Lorraine had visions, and the Warrens discovered this was not just a possession, but a curse connected to a witch who had been sending evil around like demonic DoorDash. The case got bigger, darker, and more conspiracy flavored with cursed objects, witch totems, underground tunnels, and a satanic murder plot that made the franchise feel less My House is Haunted and more like my true crime podcast has been baptized in hell. Anna Lorraine broke the curse, Arnie survived, and the Warrens once again walked away bruised, traumatized, and somehow still deeply in love, because nothing says marriage goals like defeating Satan together and then going home to your room full of cursed antiques. And now, on to The Conjuring Last Rites.
Yay!
Whew, that was a lot.
Huh. Again, thanks for the franchise rundown.
Yes.
This is one I don't need reminders of. I mean, we talked about this when we talked about when you were on for that franchise. I watch these movies all the time. I love them. It's a totally different animal.
Except for The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah.
That one's doo-doo.
Yes.
Doo-doo garbage.
Absolutely. I don't rewatch that one ever. I rewatched it for our episode, and I hopefully never have to watch it again. But yeah, let's talk about what is also advertised as a franchise ender. We know it's not, and we'll talk about the possibilities at the end of this.
Yeah.
But The Conjuring Last Rites, which came out in 2025. Rated R. It is 2 hours and 15 minutes, making it the longest in the franchise. I didn't think it felt like the longest. I thought I had a fun time.
I also didn't feel like it was the longest, and if I'm saying that,
yeah, at least you were like having an okay time, and it didn't feel like it was dragging.
I was having more than an okay time.
Okay, good. Our synopsis is paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take on one last terrifying case involving mysterious entities they must confront. And it says in the synopsis, one last terrifying case, the last. The tagline, again, prepare for the end. We're ending, right?
I mean, for those who didn't get from the subtitle, Last Rites.
Yeah, should be.
I mean, we definitely need to talk about that because, anyway.
Yeah.
This is a really great ender.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our director is Michael Chavez. He directed The Curse of La Llorona, The Nun 2, and The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. He directed all the worst movies in this franchise. So what happened here? Because this movie doesn't even feel like those movies.
No, it doesn't. Not
it has, yeah. I mean, didn't I forgot to look up the writer. Did James Wan write this?
He did not.
Okay. See, there's heart in this movie, and the other movies that he directed do not have a heart in them. So
David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick wrote the screenplay. It says James Wan story by, but
yeah, that's just the
anything.
original
Conjuring. Yeah, he didn't write anything.
Well, kudos to the writers then.
Agreed.
Our notable cast, we have Patrick Wilson returning as Ed. We have Vera Farmiga returning as Lorraine. We have Mia Tomlinson recast as our Judy. She is an adult now that is Ed and Lorraine's daughter.
This is like the third recast of her too, right?
It is. And I think it was like a scheduling issue to why they recast Judy, I think. Or maybe they needed an older actress, something. They couldn't keep the same one.
They should have kept McKenna Grace.
I know.
She would have been too young.
I know, but
I know she's like 20, 21, but
this is like, what is this, the 80s, early 80s?
Yeah, it feels like the 80s for sure.
It could have probably make her look a little older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Ben Hardy introduced as Judy's boyfriend Tony. You may know him from X-Men Apocalypse. He played Angel.
He's precious.
Okay, I'll talk about him when we we get to our notes. But he is precious after you've seen the movie, and he's not a secret like Satanist. Um, we also have Madison Lawler who plays young Lorraine, and Orion Smith who plays young Ed. And I'm mentioning these two actors because it's a possibility. I think it's a possibility we could see them in the future, depending on where this franchise goes.
Well, we know where the franchise is going, right?
No, I don't.
They announced the next movie comes out next year and it's called The Conjuring First Communion.
I thought
And
I
it's going to
didn't know
be
it was a movie. I thought we were getting a
I thought it was
show.
a TV show.
next movie released next summer. And it's a prequel, one of their earliest cases in their early days.
So we are getting young Lorraine and young Ed.
Yeah, but
Okay.
so we know it's definitely not going to be Vera Farmiga and Wilson.
Of course.
But we
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to be these two. But I'll say right now, I hope it is because I thought they did a great job of playing.
I think so.
Young,
I liked them, especially the actor Orion Smith is a spitting image of Patrick Wilson.
Sounded exactly like him too. I thought
Yeah.
they dubbed it over with his voice. I was
Yeah.
shocked how much he sounded like him.
Great casting for him. But I remember us discussing, is it between, are we going to do older cases of Ed and Lorraine, or are we going to follow Judy and Tony into the future? And is because she also has the gift that Lorraine does, are we going to follow them into cases into the 90s and the early 2000s maybe?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's possible they do both. But I don't think they're going to give up on Ed and Lorraine because they're the moneymakers. Now, the question is going to be, is it going to make money without Vera and Patrick? Because I said it during the first time we recorded on this franchise. They are the sauce. So any other actors, this franchise, I don't think would have been as successful without the two of them.
Are we getting the show still or no?
They said that's still in development. They didn't cancel that. So I still think eventually we'll get what we talked about last time.
But there was no confirmation about what the show was going to be, right? Okay.
We speculated it could be like a case by case thing, which I think would be cool. That would be a fun way to have.
And you just pay them like $100,000 to do a voiceover at the beginning every week.
Yeah, sure. I want Annabelle Comes Home, the series is what I want. No Ed and Lorraine, just some wild ass shit from each case.
Like I just picture like this, maybe this is showing how old I am because they did this shit in the 90s, I'm sure, on shows, but like at the beginning or the end of every episode, just like go back into the room, just like the camera pans to like something new, and it's like that's what's coming next,
like week. Tales from the Crypt,
kind
of like
and the voiceovers and stuff, like they tell the story has a moral and everything at the end, like it always does, and then they're like, they say something, they're like, but that's a story for another time, as they focus on, like, the monkey from Stephen King or whatever.
I'd love it. I would love it. But yeah, I honestly I don't care. Either one of those things interests me. Whether we go back in time or we go forward in time with Judy, I'm interested in both of those things. I think it would be great. So first off, Kendall, you said you think this is a great franchise ender. I do as well. I will also acknowledge that this movie is a giant cheeseball.
Oh, that's why I loved it, though, as I'm sure both of you.
It is. I loved this movie. Honestly, if you took out Devil Made Me Do It, Conjuring 1, 2, and this one would be like a perfect trilogy. Because this was so scary.
Yes.
Even watching it again, like I have a few little notes about some of the things, but just thinking about it, that fucking old woman.
So, I remember seeing her in like the trailer and the TV spots, and I could not look at the screen because it was just a very brief like shot of her. I think behind the rocking chair or something. Scared.
Yeah, she's like.
For me, the guy scared me. Like when she's doing the laundry, and you just see him like.
The Axeman.
The Axeman's pretty great. Love him.
I will say this though. There are some things that disappointed me.
I also have some disappointments as well. It is linked to CGI though. Those are my complaints. Story-wise, I don't think I have many complaints.
My story complaint is they should have found a way to bring Valak back. And I'll tell you why, because they set her up to be like this big
the big bad.
and she didn't come up. But they set it up perfectly because in this movie, when Lorraine is talking to Ed on the porch of that house, like there are three ghosts, but they're being controlled by something else. I'm like, well, that's what was happening in England. It's Valak, and then it
Yeah.
be Valak.
Yeah, I do wonder what happened there. Because instead of Valak, we got Giant Annabelle, which is dumb as hell. I hated that so much.
And Annabelle wasn't even the
Agreed.
horse, right? Like I think she was just there to torment Judy.
Yes, just for Judy.
And I think having Annabelle back was fine. Could have maybe
done it a different way. If
Yeah,
you would have had a little girl that I saw from the back running down the hallway and giggling just as Annabelle, like they see that would have got me. But we
I
got
got
CGI.
goosebumps when you said that.
Or even that doll that crawled in, like Mama,
Yes,
Mama. If it was Annabelle
And
instead.
it's like,
fuck the baby doll.
oh,
I
God,
hated
it's
that
giving
thing.
me goosebumps again. Like this is so creepy.
It's yeah.
And then the hand on the shoulder.
Yeah.
The thing that got me, my other big complaint though, even if you're not going to use Valak and Annabelle's not the big bad, I wish they showed us what the big bad was. They never did. It was just the mirror.
It just means they're holding on to something else, you know? They're holding on to it for the prequel. We're for First Communion, and we're gonna see what's been following Ed and Lorraine around, I guess. I don't know. I do like the haunted mirror. I always love a haunted mirror because there's lots of folklore about mirrors in every culture and that they're scary things.
And then you love the very end post credits, they call it a conjuring mirror.
Haha.
I thought it was weird that Grandpa gave her that mirror.
Okay, but as the recent recipient of a haunted lamp, I love antiques as gifts.
I do too.
But you're also not a child.
But the way he explained it was, we know that there's only one bathroom in this house and there's a 1,000 of you. Here's your own mirror to get ready. And I thought that explained it for me.
Sweet. Okay, yeah.
But did it have to be a
lamp.
big, scary? Let me see if I can send the picture in the chat, Anthony, so you can see my haunted lamp, because it's the best thing I've ever owned in my whole life. My grandma does not understand why I love this so much, and I begged her for it. Yeah.
So can we talk about, we may have all had our problems with The Devil Made Me Do It, but I like that they directly addressed Ed's heart issues, and after that case,
at least we didn't forget that Ed has a bad heart. Yes, and I do like the way that they inserted it into this movie. That whole ending scene was so tense, and yes, these are fake people. I felt for this group of people. And, you know, Ed tapping out and dying, him telling Tony to save Judy, and Lorraine doesn't know where to go. Like, her husband's dying, her daughter's dying. Crazy. Loved it.
I loved how they aged up the two of them in this movie. Like, you first see them like at the lecture and you're like, oh, they aged them up, but then
and you know what,
they're taking out the glasses, can barely read the menus.
The aging I felt was The Devil Made Me Do It. They tried to make them look old and it didn't look right. It looked really bad.
Yeah, they did it well here.
Yeah, they did.
And I just love Vera Farmiga's face. She looks similar to or I guess Elizabeth Olsen looks similar to her, like their face. Very similar. But I just see that. I love her.
She has such I've said before, she has that old Hollywood like starlet.
Yeah.
Like the classy beauty. I love her. I love that they brought this movie firmly into the 80s, and at their lecture, they're just getting a bunch of mocking questions about the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, I was immediately pissed by that stupid child. But makes sense for the time.
And I love how it showcased the different personalities. Ed was getting pissed, and Lorraine was like, we did see the movie, though. It was good.
They're still the best couple.
Most of my notes are just like, fuck this baby doll. Fuck that old lady. The hauntings in these are effective for me. The old lady in the videotape? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I hate that.
I think I know one thing about this movie both of you liked.
What?
Oh, tell me.
And that is they completely threw out any sense of even trying to base this on the real Warrens whatsoever. The real Warrens worked in the late 90s, early 2000s. They just went complete
Yeah.
Ed and Lorraine, did not try to tie it to anything real at all.
Yeah.
The ending was annoying to me actually because I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, they didn't try to tie it to the real ones, but just knowing the real Ed and Lorraine and how they were like, oh, we just grow old together.
But I
And
feel like not tying it to the real Ed and Lorraine, we're having the fictional future of this. And that's how I felt it. I felt Lorraine was fantasizing about the future they're going to have together.
And as the sap I am, I have that quote and I want to read it because
Go
I
ahead.
full montage. And it's they're dancing at Judy's wedding, and Lorraine's like, I had a vision last night of our future. I dreamed that we became grandparents and that baby's definitely gonna get spoiled.
Mm.
We finally got around to writing our book, and it was terrible. I thought that was very funny because their books are terrible in real life. But it shared the story of our family and all those we met along the way. And we still passed on what we learned to new generations. And we never stopped having adventures. Love that part because that's when they're both in leather jackets on his motorcycle, just riding through the woods. Love that.
That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we never stopped helping people, even when the only thing we could do was talk to them on the phone. And then we were old, and Judy and Tony were visiting us with their kids, and they brought their kids, and I felt warmth and love and comfort for all of my days. And I loved that. I love the fictional Warrens.
Yeah, I do too, and I
It's
like that
sweet.
ending. Like, I feel like you have to, though, completely cut off the fact that these are based on real people. And I can do that for this franchise. I do love, Patrick and Vera, and I thought
They
it was a
have
great.
wonderful
They
chemistry.
do, and I think they portrayed, the range of this relationship into their old age really well together. I think they never fell off in any of these movies they did, and I think they rounded this out in a conclusion very well. I loved
Even what
it.
they were posting on social media when they finished filming, it was like a real relationship coming to it. Like you could tell they
Yes.
liked each other. Like
Yeah.
It's very kind.
Yeah, they're really great
That's
friends.
why I kind of I hate when something is so, I guess, you're really excited, like you're anticipating the end of something, and then they go, oh, we're having another one next year.
Yeah, but at least it's not a continuation from here. I think I would not like that. If they were like, psych, we're doing another old Ed and Lorraine, I don't want to see that.
I wouldn't even I'd hate if they were doing Tony and Judy and then
And then Ed and Lorraine popping
act
up.
three of the movie they have to go for some sage advice from old
Yeah, I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
My last note for this is that previous to this one being released, this one is the highest grossing of the franchise, but The Nun was the highest grossing previous to this. I had forgotten about that for some reason. It's always bizarre to me to hear that The Nun made more money than like The Conjuring.
And this isn't just the highest grossing of the franchise. Opening weekend, this is the highest grossing horror movie ever.
Yeah, it
Is
has
it?
a big following.
It does.
And honestly, I think whatever decisions were made in the writing room, whatever cuts were made in the writing room, I think they made a lot of really good decisions. I kind of have a feeling that they cut a lot of fat off of this script. I feel like everything that they kept, it
So
just
I
really
think
works as a story.
I think whether or not people really like/love this one depends on if they're more interested in Ed and Lorraine or their cases, because this is the
Yeah.
first one of the main four that they focus way less on the family being haunted and way more on the Warrens.
Yes, which is fine.
Yeah.
I do love the Smurl family haunting. There's a TV movie called The Haunted, which was made in 1991 about this specific haunting. It's a really cool story. Not true, obviously, but I do like. But you know what? If I had to listen to all those kids screaming all the time, I would have. I don't want to sit with this family for most of the movie. I'm okay with this.
Yeah. It's always a family with a shit ton of kids.
Yeah.
And grandma and grandpa.
Yeah. God.
I definitely think this is one of the scariest ones for me. I'm a sucker for jump scares
I
and
love them too.
you know, the did you miss me? Absolutely fucking not. It just like all of these little things are just they're so fucking scary.
I
And
know.
I love that. That old lady, as cheesy as maybe her face is, very
It
effective.
is a little overdone with the
It is.
CGI. Like it's just so it bothers me because it's so close to not being overdone. You know what I mean? And they could have just made it.
I like makeup job. I agree with you.
God,
Mhm.
yeah. And Giant Annabelle, I can't get over. Why?
You know what made me laugh? So when they arrive at the Smurl farm and are walking through all the press, and they're like, "Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Warren, are you here for this?" Blah 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 blah. Hey, I love the shots of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how famous they are. But I was thinking to myself,
Mhm.
man, the real Ed and Lorraine Warren wish they were this famous. This is
Oh
like,
God, yeah. Ed would have been talking to every single
yep,
microphone out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
yeah.
Anyway.
Um, I really liked the character of Tony. I liked his
Oh,
backstory.
that's what I
How
want to talk about.
the
Yeah.
gun
Yeah. He
didn't
was
go off.
sweet.
The whole time, I thought he was a little weasel. I thought he was going to betray Judy. I thought he was here for another reason. I thought he was trying to infiltrate the family. I don't know why. I was like, I bet I should know better. Like, The Conjuring is a wholesome, like, franchise in this respect. Like, they're not going to
Mhm.
bring in some, you know, thief or whatever, or someone who's trying to bring down the
It's just the shit that
family.
we watch is what they
Exactly.
do. Yeah.
I kept expecting him to do something dastardly and hurt Judy, is what I was expecting.
The real Tony and Judy were in the scene with Ed's birthday party in the house.
Yeah. And then we had the wedding at the end, which had
All their old victims, like
which
not
right, which I thought was so strange. Strange choice to have all of the previous like haunting investigations there for Judy's wedding.
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
James Wan
James
just
Wan
stuck
was
out to me
also
like
in
a sore
there.
thumb.
That's how I figured it out because I didn't recognize a lot of the people, but I
I was
recognized
wondering
James
that.
Wan, and I was
I
like,
was
"Well, if he's here."
I was wondering that because, like you, I've watched this series like countless times, and
Hmm.
the kids all grown up. I could barely.
Yes, I can't. I don't know.
I recognized the moms,
Hmm.
and then I was like, recognized James Wan. So I was like, oh, those random young adults must be the kids from previous
Yeah,
movies.
sure.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, all the like people they pan to go when she was walking down the aisle were just all previous cast members from different movies. If you care
Weird.
to go look, it's fine. Okay, let's go back to our rankings for The Conjuring. And Anthony, if you would like to go first, and then tell me where you put seven, where you put Last Rites.
Sure. So number one still remains The Conjuring 2. I still think that's the scariest out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The nun has never been scarier than she is in that movie. I like
Mm-hmm.
that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising even me, Conjuring Last Rites comes in at number two. I thought
That's
it was
not
the
surprising. I
perfect.
think that's where I would expect you to put it.
I think it's a perfect wrap up to this whole Ed and Lorraine's Warren story. I like that it focused on the Warrens. I liked their future. They got their happy ending in the end. Number three, Annabelle Comes Home. I want more of these, like you said, Miss
Yeah.
Stage. Give me haunted house movies and the Warrens home when they're not around.
Yes.
Number four, the original Conjuring. Number five, sorry guys, the devil made me do
God
it.
damn it, Anthony.
It's because I need the Warrens in the movie or would get it for me.
Mm.
Number six,
Okay.
number six, Annabelle. Number seven, The Nun. Number eight, The Nun 2.
Mm-hmm.
Number nine, Annabelle Comes Home. No, Annabelle Creation. Sorry.
God.
I know I've been odd one out. No matter how many times I try to see what everyone else sees at that one, I don't get it.
That's okay. That's why
And
we all
then
have
number
opinions.
10, La Llorona. Not because it's a bad movie, but it
Mm-hmm.
just does not fit in with the rest of the franchise for me.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
why we never included it.
Yeah,
'cause
we
it's
didn't
just
talk about that one.
an outlier, so we didn't put it in our rankings. Kendall, do you
Got
want to go next?
Yeah, so I have Annabelle Creation at number one,
Love it.
Conjuring number two, Conjuring three. No, hold on.
Mm-mm.
Number three, I have Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
And number four, I have Conjuring Last Rites. I actually feel like I would have put that higher, but the other ones are just really good.
Yeah.
Number five, I have Annabelle Comes Home. Number six, I have Annabelle. Number seven, I have The Nun. Number 8, I have Conjuring Devil Made Me Do It. And number 9, I have The Nun 2.
I'm putting that on your tombstone that you hate The Nun too. Like, it's very
I hate it so much.
core to your person. I still have The Conjuring as my first and foremost, the original. Annabelle Creation number 2, Annabelle Comes Home number 3, and then I put Last Rites as my number 4. The Conjuring 2 is my number 5. The Nun is my number 6. Annabelle, my number 7. The Nun 2, my number 8. And The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, dead last for me.
Now, I know La Llorona isn't really. I mean, I joked about it in my
It
recap.
is technically canon. The priest from.
But they are making a sequel. The sequel comes out next year too.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But
I
it's
wonder if
just
they're
so
gonna try
far
to tie it.
removed.
I wonder if they're gonna try to tie it closer.
They better not.
I'm
But yeah,
still
I
waiting
love
for
that
my
we
Crooked
all.
Man spinoff.
Wait, what?
I'm still waiting on my Crooked Man spinoff.
Oh yeah, I'm so mad about that.
For real.
I was so excited when they announced that and nothing. But I'm glad we all have Last Rites so high in our list. I think it's just a genuinely really well done movie. I think they did a great job.
They did a
They could
great
have
job.
shit the bed so easily, and they didn't. So
I didn't
I'm really
have
happy.
high expectations because I hated Devil Made Me Do It.
I know. Me too.
I love this one. This
And it
one
goes-
was so good.
It goes to show, I think, Devil Made Me Do It aside for you guys, but how high quality the franchise is overall that the last installment ranked so high. Because
Yeah.
usually by the time you get to that number movie, it's like, ugh.
And
I agree.
honestly, I still watch The Nun 2 all the time, and it's number 8 on my list. Like, I will still, other than The Devil Made Me Do It, I will watch all of these movies. There's something I love about all of them. It's fun.
I'm not gonna watch either of the Nuns again, and probably not Devil Made Me Do It.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, I might watch that one before the other ones, just because I like 1, 2, and Last Rites.
Yeah,
But I don't want to watch the Nun.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It was such a disappointment.
Sorry.
She's so scary.
She is
I will
scary.
watch them all, and I look forward to rewatching all 9/10 of these films this Halloween.
I agree.
Yeah, I have a friend whose daughter rewatches the Conjuring movies over and over and over again.
They're raising her right.
They're comfort movies. They're great.
They are. And again, I am very curious with First Communion, where we're getting different actors playing Ed and Lorraine Warren, if it's going to have that same magic.
Yeah, we'll see.
I can only hope. If they keep good writers, at the helm and good showrunners, I think, they know what this franchise is. They know how much money they can make when they do it right.
They just better really do those extra chemistry tests before locking in 2 actors for contracts.
Yeah. It's difficult, though.
It is.
Difficult.
Which is testament to Patrick and Vera that they made it look so effortless.
Yeah, for sure.
Truly.
I did want to mention one thing about this movie that I didn't before we ranked. The opening with young Ed and Lorraine. The scene where Judy is born, like stillbirth, I guess.
Oh my God, yeah.
That got to me, and that was some fantastic acting by the 2 of them. Like,
yeah, I think they're great together too. I mean, we don't get to spend a lot of time with them, but from what I could see, I would honestly, I'd love to see them in a series as young Ed and Lorraine. I wouldn't mind that. We'll probably get recasting, but whatever.
It would be cool if it was the same people.
It would be.
The Conjuring First Communion is the officially announced prequel to The Conjuring.
There's a director, but no cast.
Rodrigue Hart,
who has not done a lot of anything.
With a screenplay by Richard Nying and Ian Goldberg. Comes out September 10th, 2027.
Yeah.
The movie will explore the early formative years of paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Well, Ian wrote The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Ooh.
And Last Rites and The Nun 2.
So we can hope there's some hope there then.
Yeah. I have hope. All right. Well, I have to go pick up my car from Costco. So
I need to run to Barnes & Noble and get the next Dungeon Crawler card open.
Yeah, there's a lot of those, aren't there? Like 8?
There are 8. I am about to start 6 and highly recommend it. So
I'll get there. I have too much to read. All right. Well, Anthony, thank you for coming back and finishing out these 2 franchises.
This
I know.
was
I feel
awesome.
complete finally with this.
I do too. I'm excited to come on and bitch about Scream 8 with you, Misty, and Kendall.
Whenever that and
Excited
whenever the
to-
new Conjuring movie comes out, you will
I was
be
about
back.
to say, hopefully rave about First Communion.
Yeah, we'll be back again.
Yep.
We'll probably save both of them for another double episode because
Yeah,
I think that works best.
Yeah, if that timing works, if they're like coming out the same year-ish, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, y'all have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Two Girls, One Crypt. If you like what you heard, find us on Instagram and Facebook at Two Girls, One Crypt and let us know. We also have a private Facebook group where we can discuss more fun horror things, and that is Two Girls, One Crypt Keepers. We would also love to have more friends on the podcast. So if that is something that sounds fun for you, send us an email at twogirlsonecrypt@gmail.com and let us know.